Hello, it's Sunday, the last day before our renal exam tomorrow. I am currently studying at home. I started the day with just like 300 Anki cards as a review. Most of them were renal. And I kind of have a plan for the rest of the day. There's a 64-page study guide that I want to get through. Hopefully just fill in any gaps today that I have left, enough to pass my exam tomorrow. I'm gonna study for a bit more here, and then I'm gonna go to school, to my little cubicle, where all my hard work happens. I've been feeling pretty good with renal pathology, but it's just always up in the air how that's going to go based on the in-house exams, because they are pretty different than what boards questions look like, and I've been doing well on the boards questions so far too. I'm really hoping that the boards questions and the exam tomorrow are going to be more similar than I'm anticipating, and yeah, otherwise I'm ready to move on from renal and start something new. So yeah, just a long day of studying, so let's get into it and then eventually head to school.
Because of all that equity was nothing. And so Furrow set out to destroy the diarrhea at the forges of 9.4. Let's start with pH. Acidosis means your pH level will be low, less than 7.35. Here are more
today. Well, yesterday, this same match said the press conference had her C game, but my, does she know how to compete, even when she doesn't have her A or B game?
your anatomy, it's totally the muscular tube about 3 cm in length. The entire tubular duct has history of anterior hepatitis C. It's a slow progressive by technically within more than 20 years, about 20% of the patients will develop the carcinoma. Fibrosis progression in chronic hepatitis again is not specific.
Hi, it's Wednesday. I can't remember the last time I talked. I kind of feel like I took a couple days off from not talking to the camera, but I've just been feeling tired, and I feel like I really want to just like veg out on the couch, watch trash TV like the entire day and not use my brain for a single thing. But obviously we're not getting that, because now that renal is done, we immediately jumped into GI. I watched around 6 hours of lecture yesterday and today. I'm finishing up this lecture on microbiome for GI. I have like 30 minutes left, and then I have 4 hours of recorded lecture for GI Pharm, and then I have to start GI Pathoma. I'm also still very terribly behind on all my Anki reviews from renal and all the other systems. So my hope was to get like over 1,000 cards done today and for like the next couple days in order to be able to catch up and be at 0 once I start all the new GI material, but it's not looking that way because I have to start the GI material soon. I've also just had a bunch of random things sprinkled in during the week. Like I've had OMM clinic, I've had my meeting with my, older person in the community that I've been doing. This was our last meeting. So all those things are just sprinkled in. They're taking the time, they're taking time and effort and brain power. And so it feels like there's never really like a nice big break for my brain not to do anything. So yeah, on that note, I'm going to get back to studying. I have a lot to do today. Tomorrow's going to be an early morning. We have clinical skills. So it's just a busy week, and that's just how it is.
Okay. So, motivation for this?
Shifting over to Jihan's room because I don't have motivation left, and I need the moral support and company. So I'm going upstairs.
We're like, this is the museum.
Wait, I also want to see them at some point.
What?
The clothes.
detected in the breath. So in this case, the patient's hydrogen breath content will likely iron tuples in an alkaline to the liver. Once in the liver, the copper can be incorporated, including adenosine triphosphate, resulting in a substitute for that phosphate. Where the forensics comes in. In that keratinized tissue is where you'll start to see
Well, it's Friday. I continue to be exhausted for no apparent reason. Actually, I've talked about it with some of my friends, and we all talk about how like Thursday, Friday comes around and we are just so tired, even though it's not like we're running marathons all week, you know, we're just studying kind of like stationary, seated at the library for like 10 hours or something. But I've come to the conclusion that I think medical school, you don't realize how much you're accomplishing in the day. And it doesn't seem like a lot because, like I said, all you're doing is sitting, staring at a computer, reading notes or whatever for like most of the day. But then when I get to Friday and I look back at all the things that I learned throughout the week, all the extra things that I've been working on, like research, any club events, any talks that I go to, anything extra, like a Q&A or something like that. But like looking back on the week, you don't feel like you've done a lot, but then you go through each thing and you're like, wow, I learned so much, I did so many things, no wonder I'm exhausted. So I think once it gets to the end of the week, all the things have built up and I'm just really tired. So it's 10 p.m. I have my 10 question set to do, and then I'm going to be finishing just working on Anki. And then tomorrow there's actually a conference going on in Rhode Island. It's amwa. It's the American Medical Women's Association, and it's their regional conference. And I've never been to this one, and I usually don't really go to conferences, so I thought, since it's pretty close to where I am, I feel like it would be interesting. It's just one day, so it's pretty quick. I think it'll be nice to get out of here for a day, listen to some inspirational stories, look at some new research, you know, practice some new skills or something, hopefully meet some interesting doctors, make some new connections. I think it's going to be fun, and hopefully I can take some videos of it. So yeah, gonna finish studying, head to bed early, and then I'll be at the conference all of tomorrow.
most of these people, 85% of people who die of C. infection are typically over 65.
Constantly, and you have to steel yourself for them. You have to have.
I'm back from the amwa conference. I'm exhausted. We had to be up at 6 in the morning today, a whole day of events and driving. It's really sad to come back and have so much studying left to do for the day when all I want to do is sleep for 10 hours. Overall, the conference went well. I would say it was really well organized. Everything felt really planned out. It went on schedule. Like, everything just made sense. It was very efficient. I like that there was a lot of interminglings of different schools. I didn't get a chance to talk to a lot of people from other schools, but I did get to practice some suturing. I heard so many different perspectives of all these different women in different specialties and different roles or positions of power, so it was really cool to be able to get insight from so many different perspectives and so many different specialties. I wish that I met some more surgeons. There weren't that many surgeons, and I don't think there were any cardiac surgeons. I don't know if I ended up meeting all the doctors that were there, but from the ones that I did meet or hear from, there were no cardiac surgeons and there were only a couple surgeons. But yeah, it was still really cool to hear their perspective on, you know, moving up the ladder, starting families. So I'm gonna go ahead and start editing this video so it can be up tomorrow, and Then I have to study. I'm gonna study as much as I can until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. And yeah, and then I have all of tomorrow to study, so yeah, busy weekend, but productive and fun, and I'm happy with how it all went. I'm gonna go start editing, and I'll see you guys later.